Hello, welcome aboard. Nigel with the Nigel's Modelling Bench. It is Friday. It is the 21st of February 2025. And here we are with another brand new release. This is being launched today. As you can see, the box is still sealed. I haven't looked inside. And this is the brand new Gaahleri Mobius TG Airbrush. So this is a trigger grip, and I think it's got a 0.5 nozzle, and I think it's a fan cap. But we shall see. So just in case, just as a little side note, a few of you are a bit concerned of how I am because I've been a bit quiet. I've got the lurgy. I thought it was going on Wednesday, and yesterday I was hit with it again, and it was just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm not dying or anything. I don't have a massive temperature. It's just that my eyes are completely streaming, so I can't do any fine detail work or anything. I am making a couple of videos for you, which you'll get in the next few days. And yeah, my mojo's obviously been hit, but yeah, so there we go. Now, this airbrush has been sent to me by Gaahleri, and it's been sent from the UK, for those of you that are concerned about me getting stuff. And what I'm going to do is leave the camera running so that you can see. So what happens is, I review these airbrushes, I open the box, which as you can see is sealed. So as you know, what I'm getting is what you're getting. And there's no doubt about it, because I'm opening the box in front of you. It's not a special trial edition or anything. It's not a special one that's been sent just to me. It's actually an airbrush off the shelf in the warehouse, and I'm opening it live on camera, leaving the camera running, no editing, so that you can see if I bump into any snags, then you may get the same snags as well. If I don't get any snags, then we know that it's a bloody perfect airbrush, don't we? So this is the Mobius TG. It's part of the premium series. So it's a 0.5mm needle and a fan cap. So whether we get the fan cap and the original needle that we got, I think this is the one we got in the snake set, wasn't it? So looking around the box, you can see here, and basically it's the medium to extra wide category. You can see the sticker on there which highlights. So it's not going to be for detail work, but for stuff like your car bodies, ship hulls, big aircraft. Absolutely wonderful. So ergonomically designed, capable of spraying both circular and fan shaped patterns, so it does have the normal nozzle. Unique spiral shaped air channel drop-in nozzle. Yeah, I love the way they do that. They have the air travelling around the outside of the nozzle rather than just going through one hole. Ultra mirror level removable cup for effortless cleaning. Ergonomic trigger featuring adjustable tension. If there's one thing I don't like about these airbrushes, it's the removable cup. I think it just adds to the cleaning. But if that's my only gripe, then that's absolutely fine. So once again, as usual with Gaahleri, beautifully packaged, really nice rigid cardboard box. Set of instructions here, so we've got a quick start guide, and then we've got the foam here. And as always, again with Gaahleri, we've got spare seals. So there's PTFE seals for the back of the nozzle, so that's that. There's nothing else in there. We have one paint cup. We do have the ordinary nozzle, so you can see on here, if I can get it out, we have the ordinary round nozzle. Okay, so that one would replace the fan cap that we've got here. All right, so the fan cap will give you a wide pattern. So basically this will give you a round pattern. I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to do a test with it. This will give you a round pattern. This one will give you a narrow pattern. So much like a car spray gun, you can see with the cap like that, it will blow the air and it will give you, so when you actually spray, what you will see is like a long line of paint. If you turn it 90 degrees, okay, so it's like that, you will get a wide line of paint. So basically, if you're spraying something like I say, a ship hull or a body of a car or something that's long and thin, have it like that and you'll get lots and lots of coverage. But we're going to do that in a minute. And then we've got the actual paint cup. Now generally the cap, oh, that was really good. The cap is normally very, very tight on the first time you take it off. But you can see in here, mirror chrome finish in there, so that makes cleaning that easily. And then this is going to screw down into here. And it's going to screw down onto that PTFE seal at the bottom. So there's our paint cup fitted. Okay, we've got the valve on here for adjustment of air, so that will actually reduce or increase the flow of air. So you just set your compressor to whatever, and then you can do it by ear, what you know is right. We'll have a look at the airbrush. We won't use the cap today. We'll have that nozzle there for use when we need it. We can take this back cover off here. Okay, and then we've got the brass nut there, and we can slide. Hang on, the needle got itself stuck to the back of the nozzle because it had been in there so long. But you can see there we've got a 0.5 needle, no spare needles or anything with this one, just the 0.5. I can see this is one I'm going to be using a lot. And then that's going to slide in there. Okay, on the front half we have the fan cap part, and you can see, be very careful here. I'm going to just undo that needle, pull it back so we don't damage it. And you can see that in here on the fan cap we have the nozzle, which will easily come out. It's a very long section, this one, so this won't be interchangeable with your other airbrushes. You can basically pop that one in there, okay, and then we can pop that in there. We've got a lovely guide for it, and then pop the ring on, and there we go with our straight ordinary round pattern. Undo that brass nut, push the needle up to go into the back of the nozzle again, just tighten that up, and then refit our cap just like so. And on the back here, as you've seen with so many other airbrushes, we've got this adjustable screw, so if we wind it out we can get full flow on the trigger. Okay, and if we wind this in, as you can see, it will limit the amount of paint. So you can actually set this to limit the amount of paint, you can set this to limit the amount of air, you can just play with it to your heart's content. Now with a 0.5 nozzle and needle, it's not going to be an airbrush that's suitable for very fine detail work, but we'll see just how fine we can get. For today's experiment I'm going to be using about 18 psi. I'm going to be using my Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black, which is thinned roughly 50-50 with Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner. I've got my air hose behind me. I haven't turned the compressor on yet. So let's have a look. We'll have a look at the instructions first of all. So we've got the fan cap and the round cap, which is what I just told you about. You can get the different patterns. So we've got the quick connect on here. We've got the quick connect already on the end of our airline. Gaahleri actually sell this quick connect, the female part, if you want to get that. So are we allowed to say the female part now? I know there's been some hoo-ha about Lego, isn't there, being the male and the female. Oh dear, dear, dear. You can see here we've got the paint. Now it's compatible with any Gaahleri gravity fluid cup, so if you want to just use a smaller one from one of your other airbrushes, you can. Okay, and then going over the page here, it's showing us about the dead stop at the back. Quick adjustment, normal, turn this knob to adjust the force of the main lever. So basically you can reduce, they show you with this cap off, basically you won't, I don't think you'll be able to do it, but you can actually turn this one out to reduce the force. Quite why you'd want to do that on here I do not know, but basically it's just relieving the spring pressure. I'm just going to check the needle in the nozzle again. Okay, we'll put the back on. Now if you're not worried about this back stop, you don't need to keep fitting this back piece. Okay, so I'm going to wind that away again. Right, so quick adjustment, turn the knob to control the airbrush's airflow, and then you've got the normal and the light pressure by adjusting that nut as I've just shown you. They're telling you here about your paint being too thick, perfect, and too thin. I kind of disagree with this. This means you're holding it in one place for too long, and this could be your air pressure's too low. So there's lots of many different reasons why you would get these patterns, not just the paint. So they're telling you here how to disassemble, okay, and then they're telling you how to reassemble here. We're going to try both the caps on this one. Now how to lube your airbrush, we're going to lube in there, we're going to put lube on the packing, and that's basically it. Now we don't get lube with this one, but you do get lube with many of the other airbrushes, so and you can just buy the lube on its own. So I'm going to turn around here, I'm leaving the camera going, I'm going to turn my compressor on. I'm good. This is the airbrush I've been using lately, and this is the Gaahleri G Hack 98, so that's what I've been using a lot lately. It's a lovely, lovely airbrush, I can assure you. So I can connect this in here. Here we go. And for some reason we've got no air. Something's not right here. You see, now this is what I'm on about. Ah, I know what I've done. Haha. You can hear that. That's changing the flow of air. That's what that was. I had that wound right in, so we got no air. So I'm going to wind it right out, so we get maximum air. Okay, and then we can have a little play with the settings, and I'll show you what they do. Now the first thing I want to do now, if we're going to start messing around with paints and thinners and stuff, I've got a fan going to my left, so basically anything that gets in the air is going to be blown away. And Dottie's down here underneath the bench, so she'll be absolutely fine. We won't be doing very much with this. So, to the dirty mat, okay? And I've got my, this is part of my M109A7 that John kindly bought me from America, and this is the spare hull you get, so there's a new little buster for us. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with this, I'm going to grab a drop of thinner. Okay, a drop of extra Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner. I'm just going to put a drop of that in there, nothing too much. Okay, we can put that down. Don't think it's going to come out. There we go. And then we can put our finger over the end. And all that will do is just remove anything that's left in there from manufacture. I haven't had a problem with them in the past, so I think we should be fine. I'm going to grab my airbrush stand. I'm not even sure if this will actually stand up on here. Yes, it will. We can just hook it on there like that, look, and it stays. So that's cool. We can't get the nozzle in. Yeah, we can with this one. Well, that's good. We can get the nozzle in with this one. So be a bit careful because it's a bit back heavy, but you can just hook it on like that. Right, so we'll put that thinners to one side. We'll move our pipette. Give this a quick shake, which I don't normally do with Mr. Surfacer, because it tends to, when you shake it, it tends to cake up the lid. So the reason I'm doing this with the Mr. Surfacer Black is because I've got something I want to quickly paint. So what I'll do when the video's, or when I've done the spraying, I'll stop the video, do the little bit of spraying, then I'll clean the airbrush, and then I'll come back and we'll say goodbye. So just put some paint in there, okay, and then we can just stand that up in our stand, and we'll just wipe away the excess on the side of there, and then we will put the lid back on there. So first of what we'll do, we'll get our piece of paper towel. I'm going to wind the air down, I'm going to wind this in. Okay, you can see straight away we've got lots and lots of paint coming out. Alright, so this thing is going to really pour the paint on if you want it to. So we'll just see what this is like now. So you can see we can paint like that, and it's covering really, really well. It's putting a nice layer of paint down. It's absolutely wonderful for primers and stuff. I can wind it in so I've got hardly any movement, and that means it takes a bit longer. Okay, so yeah, very nice indeed. Now the thing is with this airbrush, it's brand new, it's being released today on the Gaahleri website. Down below the video in the description there is a link. Use that link to go to the Gaahleri website, and when you want to buy something, anytime you want to make a purchase, use my code NMB and you'll get 10% off your purchase. It used to work only once, now it works as many times as you want. So as you can see, it's put that paint down. Okay, the paint could probably do with a little bit of thinning, but I like to keep it on the heavy side because you can see it's a little bit eggshelly. Okay, but if I wind this right out, I just want to show you what you can do with this thing. This is ridiculous. In fact, I'll do it on the inside here. Watch this. Look at the amount of paint we can put down here. This is crazy. Absolutely flooding it down. You can see we've got a grease mark there in the model. That's not the paint or the airbrush's fault. So yeah, we can restrict the air down. That's causing it to spatter, as you can see. You can see it is quite spattery with the air pressure too low. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest putting the air pressure down anything below about sort of 15, something like that. As far as doing detail work, this is not the airbrush for detail work, as you can see. I mean, I can do a fairly fine line, but there's, yeah. Okay, so that's that, and as you can see, this paint down here is really piled on heavy. Okay, so that's just showing you what it's capable of. So what we'll do is we'll grab the fan cup, wherever I've put it, here it is. So we'll take this one off, pull this one out. Luckily the nozzle has stayed on the needle. Push that back on there. Just twist that so it's just nipped up, and we'll put that, have it horizontal like that, so it's sort of 3 to 9. When you look at the front of the airbrush, it should be horizontal across the airbrush. Alright, and what you'll get here is a you can see here we're getting a you can see we've got a line. You can see it's making a vertical line. Now for some reason I think I need to turn the pressure up. If for some reason we're not getting any flow, you can hear the compressor's working its head off. So you can see that on here we're not getting any flow. So I think what I'm going to have to do is add some thinner, thin the paint as such. See if that works. As I say, we're not turning the camera off. Do that back to stir the paint. And there we go. As you can see, we've got a very light flow of paint. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong here. It's not very happy. It's not very happy with this at all. You always get these little things, don't we, at the beginning, and then we work it out what's wrong. There we go. What have I done? What have I just done? I don't know what I've done. And now you can see it's absolutely fine. So we're going to restrict the air a bit. And you can see now that what we're getting is a very, very narrow, very tall pattern. Watch this. You see? It's at a slight angle because I've got the cap at a slight angle. You can see now. So when you want to do a ship's hull or something, okay, you can see that you can cover a very wide band. You can see there we've got that covered in 3 strokes. And you can imagine with a normal airbrush, forget the grease and everything on there, and it's just the paint is probably a bit too thin now. But you can see how you can do that basically in one pass. So yeah, it's certainly an impressive bit of kit. What I'm going to do is put some more of the normal thickness paint in there. Okay, put that down on there, give the bottle a wipe, always put the lid back on. What I'm going to do here is just blow back through, cover over the top. I just wanted to get that paint to stir, that was all. Doesn't want to know it. So there we go. So you can see how this thing will cover. Give it a second coat. And there we are. You can see how quick that was painted. So yeah, very, very impressive stuff. If you've got something like a 1/200 ship hull or something to paint, then this is going to be a go-to, because with your little airbrush with your round nozzle, it's going to take you forever. Now, I don't know about prices or anything yet, because as I say, it's only being released today. So we shall see. But I'm going to basically, for the little job I need to do, in fact, well, the nozzle stayed in the, I want you to stay in the airbrush, not in the cap. Oh dear, we're going to get in a right mess here now. Okay, so basically, if you want to change the nozzle, you need to remove the paint. So what we'll do is we'll put the paint back into the jar. All right, wipe this off. We're getting it. Look at the state of me. I'm in a right mess now. Obviously you won't do this because you're not up against the camera all the time. You just blow that out. There we go. Take that off. Give that a wipe. Shouldn't have got paint all around there, but we have. Obviously it's all going to get cleaned up with thinners. So we can put that down on there. We can take our nozzle, pull the nozzle out, put that to one side, and we can clean that up in a minute. That can be cleaned up as well in a minute. So I'm going to put the nozzle back in, just like so. Put the round cap back on. And screw that back on there. And then we're good to go again. Right, I'm going to go and do my little job that I need to do, and then I will come back and we'll say goodbye. And there we are, all cleaned up, and me as well. I got my little job done too. So what have we learned from this video? Basically, if you're going to change your cap, there you can see the finished article there. You can see that paint's gone down beautifully. You know, as I say, this gun is really for your heavier work. This is not for, you know, little tiny bits of detail and stuff. This is for your ship hulls, your car bodies, your RC car bodies, your you know, anything that's large. You know, if you've got a large 35th scale tank transporter or something, this may be great for putting the first base coat down, but it's not for your fine work. There are other airbrushes in the range. As I say, this one here that I use pretty much all the time now, this is the Gaahleri 98. This is a very good all-round airbrush. It comes with interchangeable nozzles and needles, but I just keep this one on the 0.38, I think it is, and it does what I want it to do. Now obviously for spraying something like this, it would have taken a hell of a lot longer than that one. So, you know, if you are sort of in a production environment, or if everything you do is big, if you only build big wooden ships or whatever, and you want to use something to spray down your varnishes or your stains or whatever, this is the gun for you. I call it a gun rather than airbrush because it really is a spray gun. You could use this for car body repairs. It's perfect. But as I said, the one thing we did learn is don't remove the nozzle when there's paint in there. Sorry guys, I had to cough then. yeah, basically don't remove the nozzle when there's paint in there, because the paint just comes out and gets over everything. So just pour out the excess paint, spray the what's ever left in there on a rag, and then change your nozzle if you need to. The other thing I would always recommend is when you do change the nozzle, slacken that nut, and then if you're going to change the cap, just in case it comes to a slightly different position, leave the needle there because it helps align the nozzle. Put your nozzle in place, tighten it up, and then just reset your needle just in case. Okay, so slacken that, remove the cap, replace the air cap, that one back on there, tighten that down, reseat the needle, put the back on. There we go. So we can put it all the way back in the pack. We can remove our spray cup or paint cup. Remember, like we said in the earlier on, every paint cup in the range will fit. They're all the same thread. I've got a little bit of black paint left in there. I'm just going to get rid of that. Where did that go? There it is. You can see we've got this lovely mirror finish in here. Put the cap back on. Put that nozzle back in there. Put the airbrush back in there. Foam covering. Instructions. Put the lid back on. And there we go. So that has been a test of the Mobius TG brand new airbrush. You can see on here, this is basically the breakdown. You can see how it all goes. If you need to order spares or whatever, you could order them. But there we go. So we've got an interchangeable round cap and an air nozzle, and then here we've got the air control knob and everything. So very, very nice indeed for your heavier work. Not really recommended for fine detail, as I say. So perhaps go for something else if you're after an all-rounder. This will not do the bottom end. And as I say, Gaahleri have this range here. If it for all-round everything, that will still do the big stuff. If you go for something that's in here, fine, medium, wide, if you stay down the bottom end, that's going to be the real small stuff. But if you stay around the fine, medium, wide, that's going to be your good all-rounders. So there we are. Thank you for watching. As I say, if you want to get yourself onto the Gaahleri website and have a look and see what they've got, use the link down below. And if you want to buy anything, use the code NMB and you'll get 10% off all your purchases. Everything is priced in US dollars, although if you are buying in the UK, you're still paying in US dollars, but it is delivered from a warehouse in the UK. Okay, so stay tuned. I've got some other brand new or really exciting new Gaahleri stuff to show you, and I'm looking forward to that little video as well. Bye for now.